Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I welcome you to another episode of our series, As-Safaratul Kiram, Tajweed, the art of reciting the Quran. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam has strongly encouraged us to recite the Quran in many, many authentic ahadith. Of the beautiful ahadith that have been narrated in this regard is the hadith in Sahih Bukhari in which the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Iqra'ul Qur'ana, recite the Quran, because it will come as an intercessor on the Day of Judgment. In yet another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that for every single word of the Quran that we recite, we will be blessed with 10 rewards from Allah Azza wa Jal. And then he emphasized, I am not saying that Alif Lam Mim is one word. Rather, Alif counts as one word, and Lam counts as another word, and Mim counts as yet a third word. In another beautiful hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that it will be said to the person or the companion of the Qur'an, meaning the one who memorized it and acted upon it, it will be said to him on the Day of Judgment, recite as you used to recite in this world. And for every verse that you recite, you will rise up one rank or one degree in paradise. And your station in paradise will be at the verse that you stop. In other words, as many verses as he has memorized and understood and acted upon, he will be told on the Day of Judgment to recite as he used to recite in this world. And for every verse he will rise up one degree in paradise until finally he finishes reciting what he has memorized of the Qur'an, and his rank will be proportionate to the amount of Qur'an that he had memorized and acted upon. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us amongst these people on the Day of Judgment. Today's topic is a very important topic. It is a topic called in Arabic Sifatul Huruf, or the characteristics of the letters. Now this is one of the most advanced topics of Tajweed, and because this is an introductory class, we will not be going into too much detail regarding the characteristics of the letters. Each letter is characterized by many different characteristics, and we are only going to discuss those which are the most essential in order to understand Tajweed. And the fact of the matter is that there are over 20 characteristics that are discussed by the ulama of Tajweed, the scholars of Tajweed. We will only discuss maybe 6 or 7 of them, those which are the bare minimal essentials in order to pronounce the Quran and to understand the rules of Tajweed properly. The first characteristic that we will discuss are the letters of isti'la. Okay. Now what is the meaning of isti'la? Isti'la is the raising of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. So in order to help you memorize this, I have a picture of a wave here, because your tongue will be raised up like the wave. This is the meaning of isti'la. Okay. So these are the letters that if you wish to pronounce them properly, you need to raise the entire tongue to the roof of the mouth. Okay. If you don't do so, the letter will not be pronounced properly. These are very important letters, and they are 7 in number. Okay, these 7 letters are Kha, Sin, Dad, Ghain, Ta, Qaf, and Dha. These are the 7 letters. They are known as the letters of isti'la. Isti'la, we said once again, is to raise the tongue to the roof of the mouth. In order to pronounce these letters, you must raise the entire tongue to the roof of the mouth. If you don't do so, the letters will not be pronounced properly. Now, all the other letters are the opposite of this. You can call them the lowercase letters if you like. They are the letters where the tongue, or the entire tongue, maybe you have to move the tongue, but you don't have to move it entirely to the roof of the mouth. These are the letters, we call them huruf al-istifal, or the lowercase letters if you like, meaning the letters which the tongue is not raised to the top of the mouth. Now, you can memorize these 7 letters by the phrase خُصَّ ضَغْطٍ قِضْ. These are the same 7 letters, but the scholars of Tajweed have just placed them like this as a mnemonic, as a memory trick to memorize them. And it is very important, you must memorize these letters, because we will use them over and over again in other rules of Tajweed. So if someone asks you, what are the 7 letters of isti'la? You will say, they are the letters of خُصَّ ضَغْطٍ قِضْ. They are the letters of خُصَّ ضَغْطٍ قِضْ. Just keep on repeating this phrase until you have memorized these 7 letters. And as I said, they will be used in future lessons, so make sure that you know these 7 letters. And they are characterized, as we said once again, by the fact that the tongue has to go up to the roof of the mouth. This is the first characteristic that we'll discuss, that of isti'la. The opposite of isti'la, we said, is istifal, which means that the tongue, or relatively, maybe not the entire tongue, maybe not the tongue in its full length, but relatively the tongue will not have to go to the roof of the mouth. All of the remaining 21 letters are letters of istifal, or the lower letters. Another characteristic which is important are the letters of itbaq. Now, the meaning of itbaq is to close up. So the letters of itbaq are those letters in which the entire mouth has to close up. It is as if it is puckered up from inside, and you make a type of if you like, a tunnel, if you like, of your mouth. Okay. So these are the letters of itbaq, and they are more specific than the letters of isti'la. After you move your tongue up from the letters of isti'la, in order to pronounce the letters of itbaq, you have to lower your tongue down after having raised them up. Okay? All of the letters of itbaq are also letters of isti'la. And they are 4 letters in number: the ta, the dha, the sa, and the dha. Now all of these 4 letters, you will notice, to pronounce them properly, you have to make your tongue, if you like, into a type of circular tunnel, or else you will not be able to pronounce it properly. And this, by the way, also tells you the difference between the ta and the ta. Remember, the ta and the ta have the same makhraj, exact same area where they come from. Likewise, the sin and the sad, they have the exact same place where the letter comes from. What is the difference? The main difference, try to pronounce the ta and then the ta. What is the difference? Ta and ta. You find that your mouth has to form a type of tunnel, as we said, as if the mouth has to close up, pucker up from inside. So this is the main difference between the sin and the sad, the ta and the ta, and so on and so forth. These are the 4 letters of itbaq. And you notice that they are part of the letters of isti'la. The letters of isti'la are 7. 4 of those letters are letters of itbaq, in that not only do you have to move the tongue up to the roof of the mouth, you also have to cave in your mouth, to close in your mouth, to form a type of cylinder. These are the letters of itbaq, and it is important to know them because in order to pronounce it properly, you have to, as we said, make your mouth into a type of tunnel, or close it up very circularly. Obviously, all the other letters are not the letters of itbaq, so there are only 4 letters of itbaq, and the remaining 24 letters are not these letters. The next characteristic is a very important characteristic, and that is that of the qalqala, the letters of the qalqala. Okay. Now the meaning of qalqala is the moving or shaking of the sound, and that's why I have this type of wave drawn out. When a droplet of water falls, it forms a type of wave. Similarly, a qalqala is a wave, a sound wave, if you like. It is an echo that is done on the letters of the qalqala. The letters of the qalqala, in order to pronounce this moving or shaking, it must have a sukoon on it. You cannot pronounce a qalqala when there is a fatha or kasra or dhamma. You cannot do this echoing. It must only be done when the letter has a sukoon on it. What are the letters of the... we must be careful yet before we mention the letters. We must be careful not to transform the qalqala into a fatha. And I'll explain that now. What are the letters of qalqala? There are the 5 letters of qalqala: the qaf, the ta, the ba, the jim, and the dal. And once again, the scholars of Tajweed have conveniently placed them in one word: qutul bi jad. Qutul bi jad. If you keep on repeating this, qutul bi jad, you will memorize the letters of the qalqala. Now, let me give you an example of the qalqala. We said firstly that the qalqala is a moving or shaking of the sound itself. Secondly, that it occurs only on a silent letter. So let us put a sukoon on the qaf, okay? And put an alif before it. Aqo. Aqo. Did you hear that echo right after the qaf? This is the qalqala. Try with the ta. Alto. Alto. Likewise with the ba. Ab. Ab. With the jim. Aj. Aj. Notice the aj, this qalqala, this echo, this is what we're talking about. Likewise the dal. Ad. Ad. Careful not to transform into a fatha. Put a fatha on the qaf. Aqa. Aqa. Which is different than a qalqala. Aqo. So it's a very, if you like, precise difference, and it only comes through practice. Again, this is a very common mistake, that when people try to produce a qalqala, they end up saying a fatha on the letter. And this is not correct. The fatha is a separate sign, a separate vowel sign. You cannot confuse the qalqala with the fatha. The qalqala basically is caused by the release of the sound after it was trapped because of the sukoon. The sukoon means there will be no fatha kasra dhamma on it, right? There will be no vowel on it. However, these 5 letters, you cannot just stop at the letter. You have to release that sound, or else the letter will be eaten up. Suppose we did not have a qalqala. Let's try producing the sound of a silent qaf. You can't do it, okay? It doesn't happen. You need the qalqala in order to tell the listener that there is a silent letter of qalqala there. Aj. If you don't have a qalqala, aj, it doesn't come. The person will not know what you're saying. You don't even sound right. So the qalqala is essential in order to inform the listener that there is a silent letter there that is of the letters of the qalqala. These are the 5 letters of the qalqala. To produce a qalqala on any other letter is a mistake. These are the only 5 letters of the qalqala. Anytime in any of the other letters there is a sukoon, you don't do a qalqala. There is no need for a qalqala. Suppose the letter ta. The letter ta is not of the letters of the qalqala. You put a sukoon on it, at. You don't have an echoing sound. Whereas you have a strong echo there. Okay? So, likewise, for example, the sheen, ash. We don't say ash. There's no qalqala. There's no need for a qalqala. Ash. However, the letters of the qalqala, once again, you must have the qalqala if you wish the listener to know that there is a silent letter there that you have pronounced. Now, the qalqalas, they are not of one category. Some qalqalas or some echoes will be stronger than others, depending on where the letter occurs. If the letter occurs, if any of these letters occurs, obviously in a silent form, in the middle of a word, then the qalqala will be the lightest. It will be the lightest amount. If it occurs at the end of a word, notice a word, not a sentence. The end of a word, it will be a little bit stronger than that. Okay? And if the qalqala occurs and the word has a shadda on it, you know, a shadda means a double letter merged. Okay? If it has a shadda and you stopped on that shadda, then you must pronounce the qalqala even stronger than that. You must pronounce the qalqala even stronger than that to show that there is a silent shadda which you have not pronounced. So if you like, we can say that the qalqala is of 3 levels, if you like. Okay? The lowest level, or the weakest level, will occur when one of these 5 letters is silent and it occurs in the middle of a word. Following this, a little bit stronger, a little bit harsher, a little bit more of a reverberation of an echo, will be when one of these letters occurs at the end of a word. At the end of a word. And the strongest qalqala, the one where you do the most vibration, the most echo, will be when there is a silent shadda. There is a shadda, but you stop there. You didn't move on. So in order to show the reader that there is a shadda, then you have to make a very strong qalqala. Now open up Surah Al-Masad. I will recite Surah Al-Masad and listen and follow along with me and see where the qalqalas occur and what level they are with. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب. Okay, who can tell me where's the qalqala here? On the ba. Okay, what type of qalqala will this be? On which level will it be? The strongest one, because there is a sukoon on the ba. وَتَبْ. Notice there was no qalqala on the first tabbat. Why wasn't there a qalqala on that ba? Because there's no sukoon, there is a fatha on it, exactly. Okay? تَبَّتْ يَدَا أَبِي لَهَبٍ وَتَبٍّ ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب. Where's the qalqala? كسب. Okay, what level of qalqala would this be? The second level, meaning because the ba has a sukoon and it's at the end of a word. سيصلى نارا ذات لهب. Once again the lahab. وَامْرَأَتُهُ حَمَّالَةَ الْحَطَبِ. Once again the حَطَبِ. في جيدها حبل من مسد. Okay, there's two qalqalas here.
Yes.
Where are they?
Habl.
What type of qalqala is this? The weakest type, yes. And the masad would be of the second type. So notice the difference. Hablum, and then masad. So there's a slight more emphasis on the masad because it's at the end of a word. So these are the letters of the qalqala, the qutubi jad, and whenever you recite these letters with a sukoon on them, you must place the qalqala, or else the letter will be eaten up. You will not pronounce the letter correctly, and the listener will not know that there is a silent letter of the qalqala there. And we said that they are of 3 levels, and we gave their examples in Surah Al-Masad. With this, we come to the conclusion of today's episode. We hope to see you in our next episode. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.